Okay, so I'm going to give you the directions on how to start building your beaver dam, but first of all you have to make sure you have your materials. So the first thing you're going to need is clay, Play-Doh, or if you don't have either one of those, you could make this with some mud, which will stick to your hands a lot more, but if you do it outside, I'm sure you can wash off and it'll be fine. Just be careful you don't get it all over your clothes. But if you do make mud, make sure it's really thick, just like this clay is really thick. Otherwise your dam will just collapse. So first thing you need is your clay, your Play-Doh, or some really thick mud. The second thing are some rocks, or if you don't have rocks, you could always use some marbles. Now my rocks are kind of rounded. I wonder, would these work better or worse than flat rocks? It's something you could try in yours to see which works best. You also need some wood, some sticks. So I have some little teeny tiny ones here. I have some thicker ones, and then I even have this big thick branch, which would be kind of awesome to use, but I am not strong enough to break this, and so I'm not going to use this one, so I'm just going to throw it out of the way. You also need to have some water. So I've got water here in a jug that I'm going to put out of the way so I don't spill it all over myself. And then last thing is you need a container that you're going to build your dam in. So I have this like wash tub that I'm planning to use. I have a larger one I could use, but I'll stick to this size today. So to build your dam, you're not going to build it right at one end of the container, because we're going to prop up one end and pour water in and see if it goes through your dam. So if you build it all the way against the edge, you're not going to be able to tell if water goes through. So imagine that this container is broken into 3 pieces, into thirds. So 1, 2, 3. You're going to build your dam between 1/3 and 2/3 area. So you're going to build your dam 1/3 away along the container. You could take a ruler and measure it and be really accurate. For what I'm doing here today, just to show you, I'm just going to eyeball it. Now I'm going to take a shortcut. I'm not going to use the wood and the rocks. I'll just show you about the placement with the clay, just to keep stuff nice and speedy, so you don't have to sit and watch me for too long, so you can actually get time to build your own. So you're going to take your material and build your dam about 1/3 of the way along. And think to yourself, what would make the best base material for your dam? Would it be rocks? Would it be clay? Would it be the wood? What would you use for support for your dam? What do you think will give it that additional strength to hold it all together? So there's my dam. I've got 1/3 of the box and then 2/3 of the box up here. Then when you're ready to test to see if it works, you're going to prop your box up at an angle, so we have a slope, so the water will flow downhill. So I have a little bundle of wood here that I'm just going to stick under one end. Don't make it too steep. If you make it too steep, you'll really be challenging yourself. So about the angle I have here. But depending on the size of your box, the thing that you put underneath will be different heights. That's why I'm not suggesting the perfect height for this, because it all depends on the length of your box. Now I'll angle it this way so you can see better on the screen. So for my container, I'm going to use about a cup of water. Again, the amount of water you're pouring through to test your dam is going to be dependent on the size of your container. But for this size of container, I'm going to use about a cup of water. So I've actually got 1.5 cups in here. But you'll pour it on the upstream side of the dam and look to see if there's any leaks. I've got leaks all over the place here. I really did not do a good job with my dam. I'm leaking along the edge, and I've got some holes underneath, and it really didn't hold any water back. So hopefully you do much better than I did with yours. But once you do it, if you find out there's a problem, think, what would you do to strengthen your dam? What could you do to make it better? Would you use bigger pieces of wood or smaller pieces of wood? Would you use round rocks or would you use flat rocks? Would you not even use rocks at all? Or is there another material that you would bring in there to use? So good luck with your dam, and I hope to see some pictures of the dams that you've built. Thank you.